I think that Bitcoin has bottomed out after this massive crash. But what is going to be happening next is not what you think. I will be explaining exactly what I think is going to be happening next for Bitcoin. And I have opened a Bitcoin trade at each and every single of these bottoms over here. And I will be doing it again right over here. So I am going to be talking about that exactly. About my Bitcoin strategy, what I want to be seeing next, and what I think is going to be happening next for Bitcoin. So can we once again push up the likes above the 100 likes? That will be absolutely amazing. And I can already tell you, this is going to be a video you do not want to miss. So as always, let's have a look into what's that short term. And yes, in that short term, Bitcoin has just been crashing and crashing towards the downside. Of course, because of Japan. Now, actually a combination of reasons, also because of uncertainty in the world about a world war probably. Now, it is looking like this situation is probably looking to be cooling off a little bit, so that is of course very good for the markets. Also at the same time, for the Japanese stock market, we are seeing a slight little bounce towards the upside, but I definitely do not think we are completely out of the woods just yet. For the stock market, I will be explaining that exactly a little bit later. And for the regular stock market, of course, also we are seeing a slight little bounce towards the upside, but definitely the major trend is towards the downside, and this is not looking very good. I definitely do still think that the stock market is about to see a little bit of a further correction. Now, Bitcoin as well is already seeing a pretty significant bounce towards the upside. So yes, markets are right now bouncing back towards the upside, especially Bitcoin, especially these altcoins. But well, if we are going to be comparing this chart over here with, for example, another recent crash that we did have, for example, the COVID crash, well, we could be seeing right over here that we saw something very similar, right? We also, for example, right over here, we saw about a 10% bounce towards the upside, and after this bounce, we still fell down even more towards the downside. Okay, so we could still be falling even more towards the downside. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that right now, because of this small little bounce we are seeing right now, well, we have bottomed out. That is not going to be the case at all. Now, for Bitcoin, I do honestly already think that Bitcoin has bottomed out over here. Now, I am going to be telling you exactly what I think is going to be happening next for Bitcoin and what I want to be seeing in order for me to open up my next Bitcoin trade, just like I did at all of these bottoms. Well, first of all, if the stock market once again is going to be opening today, I do think that, markets in general could be seeing a little bit more fear, could be seeing a little bit more of a sell-off. And if not today, it is going to be happening tomorrow, or at least this week. I do expect that at least this week, we are going to be seeing a slight little sell off further towards the downside. Now, if we are going to be having a look into what's the US interest rates, yes, it is going to be looking very likely that we are going to be seeing this 50 basis point rate cut. Now, yesterday, a lot of people have been talking about like an emergency meeting. I have told you yesterday that this is just nonsense, and it's not going to be likely at all that it is going to be happening. Definitely do be careful with all of the fake information right now out there during these uncertain times. Anyways, how I look at the market right now is actually, if I'm going to be having a look into what's Bitcoin, it is definitely looking very bullish with this gap above us right now. Also with these Bitcoin funding rates spiking highly negative, definitely suggesting a Bitcoin bottom. At the same time, we have wiped out all of our open interest, also looking like a bottom. At the same time, also getting this bounce from of this massive level of support. Right now, once again, history is repeating from the COVID crash, with this massive crash that we just got right over here, with a bounce right now. And if we are going to be seeing this further continuation, well, definitely I do expect this bull market is going to be continuing. So definitely this is looking very good for Bitcoin. If we are going to be zooming out, Bitcoin is looking extremely bullish. All of the indicators have been getting completely reset, with the Bitcoin RSI also cooling off to bear market lows. But yeah, if we are going to be having a look into the traditional markets, like I've said, probably we are going to be seeing a slight little cool off once again. And so what I think is going to be happening next for Bitcoin is also a slight little cool off towards the upside. It's also a slight little cool off back towards the downside, just to be retracing with the stock market. But not as heavy, because we have already seen the heavy hits for crypto in general. We have seen like minus 20% for Ethereum and minus 30% for most of the altcoins in just one single day. So yes, I do think that we have already seen the heavy hits for crypto. So if the stock market is going to be retracing back towards the downside, I do think that Bitcoin is going to be taking with it, but not as heavy, all right? And what we can be seeing for Bitcoin is that Bitcoin has been creating a massive wick right here on that daily candle, as you can be seeing over here. And what we usually do is actually fill up the wick. This is very, very common for Bitcoin. At least if we are going to be having a look into what's this price action over here, I've been saying it all of the time whenever Bitcoin has been trading at these lows over here, that most likely Bitcoin is going to be filling up this wick right over here. And look at what Bitcoin did, right? It first of all got a little bit of a bounce towards the upside. Then still Bitcoin came down to be filling up this wick partially. Now that was exactly at this point over here where we entered the Bitcoin trade, and then boom, once again we got towards the upside. Now, if we are going to be having a look into a similar crash like is happening right now, well, one similar crash we can be having a look into is going to be the COVID crash. And also, what we can be seeing over here is that Bitcoin created this massive wick right over here. And what happened right after? We filled this wick partially with a bullish divergence, and then Bitcoin bounced towards the upside. Now, yes, Bitcoin could already be bouncing off towards the upside right here at this current moment and just create a V-shaped recovery, because honestly, on these longer time frames, Bitcoin is looking very and extremely bullish in my opinion. But I just think that the most probable scenario is going to be that we are going to be seeing another rejection to be filling up that wick partially at least, and that is going to be the moment where I want to be entering my Bitcoin trade. That is going to be the moment where I will be buying the bottom once again, just like I did at all of these bottoms over here. Now, either way, I am going to be very bullish on Bitcoin over here. I definitely do think that we are going to be seeing a big bounce, but I am only going to be opening up a Bitcoin trade if we are going to be seeing this correction again to be filling up that wick. If we are not going to be filling up that wick, well, I'm comfortable in my spot holdings. I've been buying even more spot during this Bitcoin dip, like I'm always doing. If the markets are crashing, I'm always buying more. But yeah, only if you are going to be seeing this, I am willing to be opening up my Bitcoin trade. So guys, if you are going to be getting interested in trading yourself as well, right now is going to be the time to be preparing yourself with this $500 free trade, which you can right now be claiming with that link down below. So make sure to click on that first link down below, sign up a new account, claim this free trade, and yeah, this is literally a free position you can right now be claiming during this Bitcoin crash, which literally, if you are going to be winning with this trade, you can literally make thousands of US dollars from this free trade. And if you're going to be losing, well, you are going to be losing nothing. But anyways, if we are going to be zooming out for Bitcoin, well, if you just zoom out, this Bitcoin crash is not looking that bad. It is really that bad because of the altcoins. Altcoins have been dropping even more massively than Bitcoin did. But for Bitcoin, it is really not looking that bad in my opinion. And you may have panic sold your Bitcoin or altcoins, but the big whales didn't. They have been accumulating during this Bitcoin crash. So you should be following this smart money. All of the indicators have been getting reset. Just like I've said, the Bitcoin RSI has been cooling off to the bear market lows. This is absolutely insane in my opinion. And in 1 month from now, you will look back at this Bitcoin dip and ask yourself why you didn't buy here. So I am definitely buying. Like I told you, I'm buying in spot. But just like for my Bitcoin trade, I want to be seeing this correction to be filling up that wick in order for me to open up that Bitcoin trade. Anyways, guys, with that being said, make sure to be following me over on Twitter to stay up to date about every single market development. And guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.